What up, what up, what up? We here on another episode of Wiz TV. You got the wizard here with my co-host, Bobby. So we doing our first little podcast. We never did this before, so be patient with us. So I guess what I gotta say, we doing this out of Lafayette, Indiana, so I want to know how you feel about Lafayette, Indiana as a town.
Like in general,
In general.
I think it's a good place to come and raise a family. It's a lot of factory work out here. There's actually a lot of small businesses out here too. A lot of people don't know about, but it's a lot of small businesses out here that are thriving. A lot of black-owned businesses. I think the cost of living out here compared to most major cities is way cheaper. I think the way of life out here is a lot safer compared to where we from. Where I'm from too. Chicago.
Where you say where we from, what do you mean? Where are we from?
From the city.
What's that city for the people that's here on YouTube?
For the people that don't know, the city is known as Chicago, Illinois. So being from that environment to come to here is definitely a culture shock. It's definitely it's a safer environment to be in too.
So, how old were you when you first come to Lafayette, and how old are you now?
So when I first moved out here, I had just turned 18. I was in high school still at the time. My mom moved us out here. It was really bad where we were living. The block I was living on, it was.
You talking about the block in Chicago you was living on, or the block you moved to in Lafayette?
The block in Chicago.
Okay.
I stayed on, before I moved here, I stayed on 72nd and Carpenter.
Okay.
But majority of my childhood was on 72nd and Union.
Okay.
But that block I lived on before I moved here, it was crazy, man. It was a war zone, everyday shootouts, gang activity. Like, I was forced into that lifestyle. Like, it's either you with it or you don't live.
So how old would you say you was when you see your first gang fight?
Oh man, young, real young. I'll say probably about 9 to 10 years old in middle school. Well, elementary school.
And was this something that you were a part of, or was this something that was present while you were just trying to go to school and be a regular person?
It's just something I witnessed. I wasn't a part of it. Nah. Me growing up, especially when I was real young, my mom was really, really tough on us and made sure we stayed in our books, and she tried her best to keep us out the streets as best as she could.
Oh, that's cool. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So, what would you say made things different from Chicago to Lafayette? Do Lafayette not have any gangs?
I would say it's gangs everywhere you go, and it's danger and crime everywhere you go. But the amount of danger and the amount of crime here compared to Chicago is not even close. Like, going to Chicago, my experiences as a kid growing up, Like I would go from my house to the corner store, which would be a couple blocks away, and in the midst of me going from that neighborhood to from my house to the store, I'm passing through two different gangs on different blocks, and then most of the time they at war. So to even go to the store and make it home safe was a blessing.
So, are you saying that it made it easier for you to? So is it easier for you to focus on the necessary essentials, like such as your studies for school, focus on family and
Oh
things
yeah,
like that in Lafayette, opposed to Chicago, because you gotta pay attention to all these outside variables as far as gangs, shootings, robberies, and things like that.
oh yeah, most definitely, most definitely. I think the biggest thing is in Chicago, whether you in a gang or not, you still have people that still they don't care. They gonna try you, and most of the time it's the younger crowd. Most of the older generation dudes we put up. They're in the house. They trying to take care of their family now. They're not trying to run in the streets. But the younger dudes now is they savage, man.
I agree. I agree. I can't disagree. I believe they savage for a reason, but I can't disagree.
Yeah.
So, all right, back to like what. So, what would you say to someone who come from a community such as Chicago, Gary, Detroit, um, a high crime community? What would be some things you would share with them to why this may be a more beneficial community for them to move to?
Um, Honestly, I would say that this place, honestly, probably saved my life. Because the path I was going in Chicago, running the streets, I not even intended to do it. It just happened because, where I was, and that's just how the city is. It's you either sink or swim out there. So I would say the biggest thing for somebody coming here is you don't have that distraction, or you have to worry about not just the gangs or the young people or the police messing with you like that. Out here, if you can come out here, you can get you some money. You can, if you really come out, if you really trying to get your life together and focus on your family, you can come out here and do that. Like
I like to say that this place is like the melting pot. Not just the melting pot for people in the United States, but just like the melting pot for people all over the world, because we got all different nationalities from all different walks of the life right here.
yeah, that's
And
true.
and I like to say, like, it is crime here, but this is also a place where I feel like the American way can be practiced, so to speak, or whatever you say, where you can be whatever you want to be. So it's like, if you have your mind geared toward being involved in the streets and getting involved with things that come with the streets, then you find yourself on that side of the fence. But if you come out here with like a focus to get a job, get yourself educated,
Yeah.
focus on family, I feel like this is the place to be. I feel like this a community, it's a developing community, and it's been developing for a long time, but it still got so much land
So
that
much
they,
potential.
yeah, that they building on,
Hmm.
which provide opportunity for people to come here and make money. But I believe it's all up to you or whoever that person is. I mean, it's easy. It's easy to get involved in the BS. Like,
Yep.
you people often will come out here and they feel like it's a party town, and they like, man, Joe, I can make all this money, this fast money doing this, that, and the third, and it is fast money out here, but that fast money, like they not playing no games. When they get you, they giving away football numbers out here.
Boy,
They making
real.
examples out of people. Like I moved out here when I was 26, 27 years old. I'm 46 right now, and I seen more people in this community get double-digit football numbers than the entire time I was in Chicago. And I wasn't a saint in Chicago, so I ran with a bad crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just crazy how they do people once you make a mistake out here. So I like to say that this is a town that you got to work on your anger management. You can't come out here with a temper and just feel like just because you get upset, you put your hands on somebody or you whip out the thumper. Like, you can't do that out here. You gotta find other ways to solve your problems. The best thing I suggest is always just walk away, let that shit go. Sometimes you can. sometimes people put you in a corner, and you gotta do what you gotta do as far as self defense. But if you can, just walk away. So as far as Lafayette, I really love this community. I think it's a good community, like you said, for people to come to, people to migrate to. It's a big sports town out here. If you got kids or anything that play soccer, baseball, football, basketball, track, Lafayette, Indiana is the place for them to be. There's so many resources and things out here to help develop kids and pretty much help guide them in the right direction and keep them focused on achieving that goal at whatever sport it is that they play.
Yeah, that's definitely true. You can get a lot of exposure out here for your kids.
Yeah.
It's a lot of... They actually, one of the facilities out here, they're actually working with D1 colleges now to come out and recruit kids straight from the facilities here. So
What's the name of that facility?
Oh, Legacy Courts. It's over on Schuyler Avenue. They have a basketball, baseball, soccer, multi-sports. They also have cheerleader. And I believe they have a program for your children, your small children, the toddlers, little dribblers. And those are for 3 and 4 year olds up to age 7, I believe. So it's a lot of things you can get your kids involved in. They work with them on skill sets. They grow communion with their community. You know, they're growing friendships
and I can't remember the guy that's over them now. I think his name Dante or something like that.
Yep, Dante Frazier. Yep, he's one of the owners over there. He came into Legacy ownership a few years ago. Since then, they've expanded, added another facility. So now they have another facility on top of the basketball courts. They just opened that, I believe, a month ago.
That's what's up.
And they also do things for the community. They give back. Just recently here, Christmas passed a few days ago. They had a program where they give out toys for the children. They take donations all year round to give back and set up for that. So that's another good thing I really appreciate they do.
That's cool. I like stuff like that. Giving back to the youth, giving back to your community in general.
Yeah,
I'm a big supporter of giving back to the community where you live. Like
absolutely.
I hate giving my money away to outside sources, especially banks that like to take my money and spend it in other communities other than this community. I'm a big time supporter of local banks
Mm-hmm.
because I usually can track the money and where it's going.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. And it's a good thing though. A lot of people nowadays don't really support local. They're so fascinated with following big brands and whatever's trending at the moment. Instead of supporting your local businesses to keep those people in business because that's how they provide for their families. You know, they can't rely on the larger crowd to come in. You know, they rely on the community to come in to keep their business going. So
yeah. It takes the community to keep the community fluctuating.
absolutely,
We can't do it giving our money away and the dollars steady leaving.
yeah,
We gotta see the communities pouring right back into the community.
yeah,
But I can say a lot of the money you can see go back into the community here at least so far. I know a lot of the churches out here they really support people. Like they have Jubilee,
mm-hmm.
uh, they have rental programs, utility programs, different programs that they have available to help people with funding, and they do a good job at not misappropriating the funds in this community.
Yeah,
Like this is really a great community. I can't speak highly enough on it. You
yeah,
know.
absolutely. This like I said earlier, this is a place where if you want to come and get your life together and get on your feet and you have the right mindset, this is the place for you. You can come here. You can come here literally with nothing, a bag of clothes. Literally, I did it. I did it myself. You can literally come here with a bag of clothes.
I did it too, brother.
And you can come here. I'm telling you, 2 months, a month. It took me 2 months. I did it in 2 months with a bag of clothes,
Yeah.
and I got my own place. I got a car and a full-time job, and my
Yes.
place was fully furnished.
Yes.
You can do it.
There's
You
no
can
such thing as
and
Cain out here.
at all.
You just don't want to do it.
The only thing holding you back out here would be yourself.
Yeah.
And you getting distracted by the same
party.
things you was doing back home.
Yeah.
You got to come out here with a different mindset. You can't do what you was doing there because it's not gonna work here.
Yeah.
Not gonna work
You
at all.
can't take the man out the hood and expect him to change.
Absolutely.
You got to take the hood out the man.
Yeah, you got to change that mindset. It's really about your mind. You change the way you think, you can change your life. And
Yeah.
that's I can't mask how true that is. It really is so true.
With said that, I want to say a lot of people go through suffering. I had to speak on suffering because a lot of people experience pain, but a lot of people don't understand that we all experience pain. And we all experience various degrees of pain. So don't get offended or take it personal if someone else can't feel your pain like you would desire for them to feel your pain, because we all are working through our own iniquities and transgressions within ourselves. And sometimes whatever we're working through, we can't focus on anything outside of us in order to get us better. And all of us is at different journeys, you know. I know I often run into people that make excuses to do something crazy or just make a poor choice or what they say crash out. And they usually use their pain, and they usually have a painful story or a story that expressed a lot of grief, and use that as the catalyst for them doing whatever negative activity they want to do, not understanding that activity of what they doing is it doing nothing to make their situation better. It's just making it
Worse.
for a worse future for them in the outcome. So, with that being said, people have to learn to just accept the pain as pain, accept it for what it is, and learn how to let it go. Because right with that pain, you got happiness right with it. Like I really support the yin yang. So just as much pain as you're experiencing in life, you're experiencing the same amount of happiness. It's just which one you choose to give the more thought to. And we only got one life to live. If you spend your time focused on the pain, before you know it, you'll be on your way out the door and you missed all the happy moments that you had in this long life that you probably lived. A lot of us not leaving here when we want to. We leaving here when God feel like it's time. So it's like you gotta learn how to make the right choices, even though at the time you might be feeling some pain or whatever. Just know that time gonna heal that. You just gotta let it go and keep moving forward.
Time does heal all wounds.
Yeah, it make me sad because I often hear a lot of brothers and they struggle and they'll share some with me and it'll be a reason for why they want to crash out, and I'll be wanting to share my pain with them as well to show them like you're not the only person that went through a whole lot of pain in life, and it's okay. But I withdraw from doing that because it's like a double-edged sword with that, because the young dudes or whoever I'm relaying that with can start feeling like I'm trying to compare my pain against theirs and basically tell them that their pain isn't worth, it ain't worth giving a second thought. And it really ain't that. It's just that I try to tell a person I understand the hurt. I might not understand your hurt, but I know where hurt is because of the hurt that I experienced in life. And you won't understand my hurt, but you understand where hurt is because of the hurt you went through in life. You know, and whatever degree you feel like that hurt was, it probably is true to you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't have a right to take that from you. But contrary to that, nobody else have a right to take that degree of hurt from me. But the trick is you can't just let it consume you. You got to keep on moving forward. Yeah. Or else you just end up living a whole life, a lifetime, and reflecting on things, and it's too late because you see all the blessings and all the precious moments that you had and you didn't embrace them with people who was around you that loved you. Like, things be crazy.
Yeah, life is short, man.
Yeah.
So see, that's why I like having conversation with you, man, because you always dropping gems, like, and this kind of gems that you dropping now is things that can be applied in all aspects of life, like not just your relationships romantically, could be in a job, your career, you know, if you whatever friendships you having, same thing could be applied to the same thing.
Yeah, that's true. But it's crazy, right? Like, all right, we can sit here. We have all this good logic, all this good rationale. But the main problem is we planting these seeds, and people generally don't water them. And people generally don't water these seeds because they got some person that's probably an elder like I am in the community that's misleading them, that's filling their minds up with negative stuff instead of something positive, because that elder was probably misled themselves. And that's something that a lot of you youngsters got to be careful of. Is a lot of these older dudes you guys following, not only was they uneducated and probably stunt dummies of their time, a lot of these brothers is misleading you guys because they don't know no better. Like, they was misled. And once they realized they was misled, they figured it was too late. So they just became the best ignorant version of themselves. So you gotta be careful with people like that, because they out here and they won't tell you that they messed up. They won't tell you that they was a fool and they made foolish decisions and foolish choices. Instead, they'll try to make you feel like you cool for making the same poor choices that they made when they was your age, and they know better.
And they know the outcome.
Yes.
Know what it's gonna lead to.
Yes. You gotta be careful of brothers like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially ones that's in a position that's worse than you are right now, and they telling you to do something else that's gonna prevent you from getting better in life. Like, you don't want to listen to anybody that's gonna discourage you from anything that you're trying to do positive with your life.
Yeah.
Like, in any aspect, if whether it's school, whether it's you learning a trade, whether it's you try to better yourself by stop smoking or stop drinking or whatever it is, like, don't let nobody discourage you from doing the right thing just to fit in, because at the end of the day, that's your life that you living, not theirs.
And with that being said, y'all, it's over with for WizTV tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in with the Wizard and Bobby here as my co-host. He will be helping me out with more episodes in the future. He would have been on the intro. I apologize for that. That was me being overzealous, rushing the gun. I get like that. I get gung-ho. I get my mind fixed. And I'm like, I'm going to do it.
It's all good. Make sure y'all come back, like and subscribe the video if y'all like this, so y'all can come back and keep getting this content. We're going to keep it coming. Fresh content, new topics every time we drop a new video. And we definitely going to keep things live and entertaining for you guys.
And if you want, you can hit us with some comments or some topics or whatever that you guys would like for us to hit on. And we'll do our best to touch on those topics. Nothing wrong with those topics coming up with a little bonus. You know, you guys hook us up with a little donation for if you want your topic discussed. And we got you.
Yeah, we'll definitely give you a shout out in the comments. Make sure, like I said, like and subscribe so y'all can come back and keep getting this great content.
Welcome to WizTV, WIZ071. We out.